Yeah, I also need a lot of time to recharge after socializing, which is crazy. And this is something that people in my life don't quite understand. And even I don't really understand it, so I can't really articulate anything for an answer. But to me, this is like it's socializing, but it's not. I can't quite explain it. You know, if I go somewhere that's social with people, usually after about 3 hours, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go home. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but after about 3 hours, it's time. And it doesn't matter who it is. Well, I take that back. Um, like if it's Fert, hell, I've been hanging out with her for 25 years now, and I'm still not sick of her yet. So that's probably a good thing. But pretty much everybody else, I'm kind of like, okay, this was fun. And it's nothing against them. It's just kind of like, I don't know, something medical. I can't quite explain it. But this is not really that for me. And I don't know why that is because I'm literally just kind of talking nonstop. And you're all like, yeah, bro, we know. So 3 hours is too long. Yeah. Everybody has their limit, I suppose. See, you say your social battery can't last forever. I don't know. I feel like Fert's social battery is she's like the energizer bunny. And here's the thing that I think a lot of us, because I think a lot of us here, not all of us obviously, but a lot of us are, we'd probably categorize ourselves more as introverts, right? But what's interesting that Fert kind of explains to me is that for her, social time is literally recharging her. And I I don't feel that way, right? So for some people it's completely the opposite. Their social battery would last forever because it recharges them and kind of rejuvenates them. And when time goes by and they don't have that social time with their friends or whoever it is, they start to get like they feel it. They feel probably a what we feel when our social timer has expired and we are still in the social engagement. You know what I mean? There's just that feeling of like, it starts to weigh on you, and I think that's kind of what she goes through. Recharge for me on my bed with the couch. Me too. Me too. And I think a lot of people in my life, like colleagues, work colleagues, would say, "Bro, I don't really think you're an introvert." I am. Like, yeah, sure, I can get on stage and I can present and I can do all that stuff, and I'm completely comfortable. I'm comfortable in front of 1,000 people giving a speech or some kind of brief or presentation. It doesn't really bother me. I kind of enjoy that. I get the butterflies in the beginning like everybody else, but I'm good with that. It's it's the intimacy of like somebody you don't know or the small talk. I don't really care for the small talk. I know it's how we get there, but whatever. Anyway, as I continue to ramble on. And it does make me feel bad though sometimes because Fert is so social and extroverted. I've grown into be the opposite, and I have to really, really work hard to go out and do things. You know what I mean? Because I also don't want to be that guy that's is is Fert married? I feel like I don't even know her partner. Well, we think she is, but maybe it's like a unicorn situation. He's like a paid actor. He's very handsome, so we hear. I don't know. Ambivert, is that like you can kind of do both? Hmm. I feel like we could all do both, right? Or are they just comfortable being both? Used to give trainings, which I had no trouble doing to big groups, but once I was done, I was ready for a lie down. Love a good nap time. Okay, got it. Definitely an ambivert. Interesting. Yep. How do you balance when you're done with socializing, but your partner isn't? That's been an issue in past relationships, platonic and romantic. So that is actually something that Fert and I have kind of, I wouldn't say struggled with. It's honestly, I look at it, and I think we kind of look at it like everything else. You're married for 25 years. Most couples will tell you, it's almost the cliche answer. If you talk to a couple that's been married for 5 years versus 15 versus 25 or 50, most couples I feel like will tell you compromise is the number one thing that's going to keep you happy and keep you together. So sometimes, like she knows, and she only knows this because I tell her, like communication is such an important thing. But I tell her, hey, just 3 hours is kind of my spot. That's when I start to kind of waver a little bit, right? Or I'm kind of done. So she knows that. So if we're at an engagement, it's 3 hours go by, and she comes up and says, "Hey, we're hitting the 3 hour mark. How you doing?" I'd be like, "I think I'm okay. Let's we stay a little bit. If I start struggling, I'll let you know." And we might go 4 hours, might go 5 hours, and she's out there on the roof of the house like, "I'm a golden goddess." Well, whatever. But sometimes it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm good, and I just have to suck it up sometimes. Or sometimes she'll be like, "Yeah, you're kind of struggling here, huh?" Okay, and then we'll figure out a way to kind of bounce, and so you just kind of make it work. It can't always be what one side wants, because that's how resentment happens. You got to make it work for both of you. And sometimes it's like, hey, we're going to do this social engagement. It's going to be a long one. So either I got to buckle in, or we make an agreement ahead of time. Okay, I'm going to go. Like, we'll drive separately, right? I'll go when I'm ready to go, and then you can stay as long as you want. I don't care. Yep, it's all good. He doesn't get mad if I go quiet and just shadow him. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, you find ways to make it work. Wow, already getting into some conversations today. We've been live for 19 minutes. I think 18 of that was Guns N' Roses, which I'm okay with. And what kills me, though, honestly, like I say, people drain me, and they do, and I don't like small talk. But what's funny is, like, if somebody is engaging enough where you just kind of the conversation feels natural, you feel like, oh, this is, and you just kind of start chatting, and you don't realize that you've been chatting for like 10, 15 minutes, and everybody's comfortable, it's good. I enjoy that. I really do enjoy that. I'll just grab a cocktail and kind of cruise around. And if I end up chatting it up with somebody, I'm cool with that. I'm good. Yeah. But sometimes it's so forced that it's so uncomfortable. And I know not everybody feels that way, but yeah. Because, I mean, Fert's a therapist for a living. So she's good. She's good with sitting in that silence and sitting in those awkward moments where you're like, somebody say something. Ah, like, so, I like your shoes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got these yesterday. Oh, nice. Did you use cash or you like a card? I use my card. Oh, like a Visa, or you like Diners Club, or oh God, shoot me in the face, bro. I feel like I feel like in those moments I have to wonder, like, what's better? I know the answer to this, but I can't help but fantasize about it. Do you sit in that awkward silence and try to keep it going? Or do you just be like, after a few attempts where this person is just not, you're not digging each other's chili. And you're like, so did you get them on sale? And they're like, no, no, I paid full price. Oh. And then like that long pause comes and you go, This is terrible. This is where, bro. This is not cool, man. You got to give me more than just like, yep, nope. Can you say more? I'm trying to have a conversation. Can you imagine? Oh God. Oh man. Like, kind of give people some feedback. You know? Because I feel like they should know. They should know they're terrible. I mean, not terrible, but yeah. Ugh. Fake getting a text seems so obvious, doesn't it? Like, oh, so they're on sale? All right, see you later. And just walk away. Just walk away. We should hang out in silence someday. That's great. That sounds awesome. Do you want to go somewhere and just not talk to each other? Maybe eat some food near each other? That sounds fun. Yeah. And I feel like small talk is kind of a necessity, right? Because you don't want to walk up to somebody you don't know. You know, you're getting some meatballs out of the thing, and someone's behind you, and you hand them the tongs, and you're like, "So, how's your relationship with your dad?" Huh? Do you know my dad? No, but is he cool? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to hook up with their dad or something. I don't know where the hell I'm going with this. But yeah, so small talk is kind of a vehicle we have to use. But if you don't get out of that small talk land soon, all right, see you later, bro. We tried. It was a valiant effort, but it just ain't happening. I guess we're not meant to be together. That's what I should say. All right, well, I guess we're not meant to be together, and then just walk away. They would tell that story. Yep. Hey, have you seen that handsome fella sitting over there in the corner with the old fashioned? Strange cat. Yeah, see, I'm kind of with Vivi here. Give me any uncomfortable topic, mental health, politics, family, whatever, but no small talk. Now, I would mostly agree with you outside of the politics. And the only reason I say that is because, and this is probably a very naive point of view, but for me, I feel like I could talk politics. I don't know if most people can handle it. You know what I mean? Like I like to think of myself pretty good with I can see somebody else's perspective. I can see how they got there. Okay, respect for sure. I'm good with having a conversation like that, but if the other person can't handle it, mm-mm, go stand over there. No. This is adult talk. You know what I mean? So, I've actually heard of that. Michelle. Michelle says there's a whole market in Asia that if you want to go out to eat or to a movie and you don't want to talk, you can order somebody online to go with you and be quiet with you. I've actually seen that. Not myself, but very interesting. Yeah. Yes, Jimmy, I just got a new addition to the keyboard right here. Yep, I got this piece right here and I got the mouse. Yep. Friends you can comfortably ignore in shared space. See, and that's why I feel like when you find those people that you can be quiet with, and like you don't have to fill the space, you don't have to fill the silence. You can just kind of be around each other and just exist. Oh, I love that. That's great. That's why I love Omar and Janice so much. Omar's my best friend. Janice is pretty much Annie's best friend. They get along so well. And we can literally sit there and just hang out and not say a damn word for an hour and everybody's fine. Everybody's comfortable. You know, it doesn't feel forced in any way. And we can also split up and nobody gets their feelings hurt, you know? Hey, I think we're going to go take a walk. Okay. That's it. It's fine. But not everybody works that way, you know? Yeah. if I'm going to waste my social battery on conversation, you have to have more depth of character than a teaspoon. Yes, yes. But I do wonder though if some people just do that on purpose. Do they stick to small talk because they are not about to get into a deep conversation with a freaking stranger, you know? And that would make sense to me. I can understand that. And that's why I think just some people don't click. Some people don't work. I don't want that small talk. I could start that way, but like, let's talk about something else, you know? Jimmy, what do you see, buddy? What do you see? Yeah, I know. I know. Now, that actually is a good trick. Somebody's saying in chat, if you just keep asking them questions and let them talk about themselves, that's usually a pretty good trick. And then it's also a good test to see how they respond to it. Does the person just want to keep talking about themselves, or do they manage to like flip it around because they realize the conversation is one-sided? So they can kind of like whoop, and they ask you a question. And then you're like, oh, it's like conversational tennis. Look at that. Yeah. But then, yeah, you just sit there and go, uh-huh. Oh, God. And I can do that for a while, but if it doesn't come back my way in a certain amount of time, I'll start to go, yeah, yeah. Or I'll pull out my glasses from my pocket that have the googly eyes, you know, that kind of jiggle, and I'll go while they're talking. Can you imagine? Obviously, I don't really do that, but that would be freaking hilarious. I don't care who you are, except for the other person on the other side of the conversation, maybe. Oh, damn. Yeah. In person, you feel like you're a big introvert? April, you wouldn't classify yourself as a big introvert, or are you just thinking how you appear to people? That's interesting. Muse, you don't think you're good at the conversational tennis? See, I wonder about you guys sometime. You have this, and I totally understand this. You have this like opinion of yourself where you think you're XYZ, or you think people think you're XYZ, but you're actually ABC. I don't know. Muse, I would say maybe it's just different because it's online, but I feel like you're really good about the conversational tennis. Muse says, literally, don't want to talk. If somebody talks to me, I will black out and not remember the conversation later, but I can text chat forever. Okay. Yeah, I definitely get it. Way different online. Yeah. Yeah. Which I guess is what I was saying in the beginning. I could sit here with you guys for 9 hours like we're going to do today. But put me out in a friggin' Christmas party somewhere. As soon as I walk in that door, hey, everybody, Merry Christmas. Start watch. Oh, here we go. Yep. Walls of text. Joe, I do have to wonder what it's going to be like when you and I meet in person. Are you going to be as awkward as you pretend to be? Or am I going to be the sunshine that brings out your joy and I just can't get you to shut up? I feel like it's going to be that one. Because, I mean, we're going to be at KFC, right? We'll be eating some chicken and you'll just be holding that one leg the whole time and the skin's flopping around. You haven't taken one bite. I'm done my whole meal and you're just still like, yeah, that's how I see it. Marina used the looking at people's nose trick. Yeah, I'm not good at eye contact either. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like an insecurity thing or what, but like I have a hard, I feel like I'm looking too long. Is this something that normal people think about? You know, does Fert even think about eye contact and how long she's been looking at somebody? Because as soon as I hit somebody's eyes with full eye contact, it's like the meter is building and it's like weird. And I look away. Yeah, and then I went to the store and weird. Oh, God. It's so weird. And I don't ever remember being that way. Eye contact is uncomfortable as hell. Yo, we should make t-shirts. And then people understand, don't look me in the eye. Jeez. That's interesting. Natty says, I'm great at eye contact if you're speaking to me, but I can't do it when I'm speaking. What is that? I have to agree. I think you're right. It's so strange. You got to train your brain to naturally break eye contact. No, mine's automatic. My default is not to look at somebody in the eye. Jeez. Yeah, and then if I'm thinking about it, I'm staring into their soul. Eye contact is how you can tell if introverted self feels safe with someone or not. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Gahanka, I can't tell if you're being serious or sarcastic. Oh, man, I'm so glad I woke up for this live. Either way, this is probably what today's going to look like. This with some games. Yep, we're going to be talking about this kind of stuff with some games. This is the time I needed with my people. Lou says I can't control my facial expressions. I can very thankfully vouch for that. Lulu cannot control her facial expressions. That's all I'm going to say about that. Lou, you know exactly what I'm talking about, too. So funny. Hey, you said it, not me. That's so friggin' funny. Oh, great. Yep. Oh, I love it. That makes me so happy. No poker face? And some of you have the resting bitch face. Yeah. I actually do too. I think I do it on purpose though. Because like if I'm walking from my car to go into a store and there's people outside with like, Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts or, any kind of charity, or they're selling something, fundraisers, whatever it is. Like if I want to give, I'll give. And I do, but it's like sometimes it's like if there's 13 stores that I'm going into and every one of them like, hey, I just gave at the last one, whatever. Anyway, I walk from the car to the store and I immediately get out of the car and I go, and then I walk to the store. I don't want to look like I'm a welcoming individual. Nope. Ooh, stay away from that guy. I want them to look at me and go, nope. Because I think that's gotten me in the past. Back before I got older and more mature and serious, shut up. I would just get out of the car and I would skip all the way. Oh, it's the sun's outside. I'm going to get some Cheez-Its today. And they'd be like, hey, sir, do you want to give us a bunch of your money? Okay. Oh, God. I learned at some point that was affecting my life. Yep. It's good to know I'm not the only one that does this. It makes me feel so much more normal. Maybe not normal, but not as weird. As a small woman, I've learned the hard way not to look inviting in public. Well, as a large man, I have also learned how to not look inviting in public. And it has been working. I've saved dozens of dollars. Yep. I don't walk away from, Walmart with 65 boxes of Thin Mints. Can I help you? No, God, leave me alone. Oh, that's so friggin' funny. Yep. Oh, earphones. That's a good trick. Is that why you all do that? I've seen so many friggin' people these days with like these walking around grocery shopping with these, not these. And I thought, do you just prefer these? You don't want the little? No, they want a giant billboard that says, don't talk to me. Wow. Bravo. That is clever. Huh. I can't believe how many people I've seen doing that too. I thought it was like a trend or something. I thought it was like the baby pacifier kids were using in high school. Oh, hell no. Tam, your customers see you at the store and ask you work like when you're off duty, they ask you work related questions? No. Oh, hell no. See, Nata, that's what I was going to say. Sometimes you wear them without even turning them on. See, that's what now I know. I'm going to find one of you and behind you, I'm going to go, excuse me, and see if you turn around. You drop this. Ha! I don't know why I would do that. I get why you're doing it. I just want to know. I'm like, ha, they're not even turned on. Get them. What a bunch of weirdos we are. What a bunch of normal weirdos.